The Luther of medicine, Philippus Paracelsus, called fasting the greatest remedy, and Mark Twain suggested fasting to be more effective than any medicine. The Romans even found that they could cure people who were possessed with demons by shutting them in a room without food. The Romans even found that they could cure people who were possessed with demons by shutting them in a room without food. To simplify an incredibly complex process, aging in essence is the result of cumulative damage to your DNA. Professor of genetics David Sinclair and his team found that not eating stimulates proteins called the sirtuins. These are responsible for DNA repair and have been identified as a key factor in longevity. Not eating stimulates proteins called the sirtuins. These are responsible for DNA repair and have been identified as a key factor in longevity. Not eating stimulates proteins called the sirtuins, responsible for DNA repair and have been identified as a key factor in longevity. Not eating stimulates proteins called the sirtuins. These are responsible for DNA repair and have been identified as a key factor in longevity. Professor of neuroscience Mark Mattson at Johns Hopkins University showed how fasting promotes the growth of new neurons in the brain. This explains why fasting is linked to the prevention of neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. This information got me excited about intermittent fasting. With intermittent fasting, you're not eating for 16 hours of the day, which gives your body time to deplete the glucose stores and start burning fat, as well as reap the benefits discussed above. So many sources are pointing to the key here being that whether you are doing extended fasting, intermittent fasting, or simply eating less, you are giving your body a chance to deplete its glucose stores and dip into ketosis, leading to the health benefits we discussed. Upton Sinclair, who was born in the late 1800s and lived to the swell age of 90, published a book in 1911 called The Fasting Cure. The book was inspired by the personal accounts of 250 people who cured some ailment with extended fasting. The ailments range from colds, headaches, constipation to arthritis, valvular heart disease, and cancer. Dr. Alan Goldhamer spoke about how in 2012, a 42-year-old patient cured her cancer, stage 3 follicular lymphoma, with a 21-day fast. Around this time, I came across a book called Kufuku wa Hito o Kenkou ni Suru by Dr. Yoshinori Nagumo. The title means Hunger Makes People Healthy, and it provides an incredibly compelling argument for limiting yourself to one meal per day. It touched upon many of the things I've talked about here, some things I didn't, and it dispelled some worries I had like malnutrition. Also, it was easy to trust him since he's 30 years older than me and looks younger than I do. I decided to try eating once per day for 2 weeks.